I am Harsonica Bindra, and this is Panther TV. To look ahead, sometimes you need to take a look back, and that is what we are going to do today. In our first story, we are going to report on what happened in Holliston before school reopened. The segment is called All Around Town, narrated by Owen Malvey. Owen is going to take us back to the hot summer. Take it away, Owen.
While the townsfolk enjoyed their summer vacation, the town didn't take any time off. There was a lot of work that needed to be done. There were no cranes used. They did not build a giant multi-story skyscraper. The work they did was to make the streets safer and more welcoming to all. Holliston strives to be one of the best places in Massachusetts. The town repaved Winter Street and resurfaced many of the downtown sidewalks along Route 16, Washington Street, some with a new granite curbing. Newly refurbished Blair Square also received special attention. They also completed a crosswalk with a flashing light at the corner of Norfolk Central Streets. Now, the pedestrians can cross Central Street in a safer manner. All this was to get everything ready for when school starts. It took a lot of hard work and some patience on part of the citizenry. The school also got ready for its new year. There were some terrible leaks that caused a lot of problems for the music wing of the school. The school fixed the problem with a sealant and new cream-colored sliding. It looks great. It all worked out perfectly. The work ended, summer ended, and school began as it always does.
Thank you, Owen. I remember the traffic. It took forever to get to the other side of town. And I also remember all the 5-gallon buckets in the hallway of the music wing. That was a big problem. They got the job done and fixed the problem. Hats off to Holliston. Our next story complements the first. Just as the roads and sidewalks got refurbished, an equally important project got underway. Holliston commissioned Cohen O'Doherty to create a mural that would connect Holliston's downtown to the rail trail and would celebrate the town's rich history and dynamic future. Panther TV was fortunate enough to be at the ribbon cutting. It took place at Blair Square and featured dancing and music and, of course, art. Let's take a look.
introduce you. Keowin is a part of the Good Boy Collective, and as you can see, has captured the essence of Holliston in such a unique and imaginative way. I'd love to have Keowin share his experience about working with the community here in Holliston, a little bit about his process, and also the inspiration for the designs that you've come up with. Keowin.
So one thing that I really wanted to start off with is before I started this project and designing everything, I came and I visited Holliston to really kind of gather inspiration and think about like what is it that's special about this community that I really wanted to highlight. And I think honestly, there's no better way to highlight it than just this experience here, right? The amount of love and care that everyone has for this community is so palpable. Even before I even talked to anyone and I was walking through, you know, the weight of the history is very obvious, but I think what comes through in that is the attention to detail and the care that Holliston has felt throughout the years, right? You're looking at architecture that has so much care and detail, and you get that in the light fixtures, but also with the fresh flowers that were there the first day I was here. And that was really what I wanted to impart in the design that I made. So in that, we talk about the past, the present, and the future in the three locations. Here, I really wanted to emphasize the weight of that history and, you know, connecting it to the rail trail, stepping through that history, and then encouraging people to step further into Holliston. Then I think of this as like the past and then the present, really thinking about who is here now and how you are building community currently, right? And who is participating in that. Moving on to the future, right? Inviting people to consider what does Holliston look like in the future, and what are we building towards? So that was really the inspiration, and I think the portal is something that I've kind of used to help emphasize that.
But I do remember every moment of the nights with you.
Blackbird whiskey's gonna ease my mind. Beach showers on the trying line. Do I remind you of your daddy in his 88 Labrador hanging out the passenger door?
Certainly showed the community at its best. Those young dancers were so brave to perform in public, and the band is called the Detentions, an ominous name if there was one. Art, music, and dance are so vital to any community. Here at Holliston High School, we have a unique public art program just for participating seniors. They get to design, paint, and park in their own personalized parking spot. Once they paint their spaces, they are the only ones who get to park in those spaces for the entire year. Now that is a senior privilege. First, they submit a design that gets approved, then they paint, and in the end of the year, like the name of the song from the Rolling Stones, they have to paint it black. The seniors pay a participation fee that goes towards senior class activities, and a deposit that gets returned when the spot is repainted black. On the weekends, when the lot is empty, it's like a mini art gallery with 100 different works of art to look at and enjoy. I really like this idea. Now we're going to shift to sports with Tommy Montieth.
This is Tommy Montieth, your sports reporter. What's new in sports is our entire football team is in transition. Lots of turnover at the coach's spot. And now there is a new freshman head coach, Michael Mullen. Panther TV made it a point to go to one of his games. It was against Newton North. We had Kylie Vargas on the sidelines to describe the game. Take it away, Kylie.
It was a perfect day for football. The sun was warm with a slight breeze. It all started early. The yard markers were put down, as well as the traditional orange pylons to mark the end zones. The field was ready. The coach's booth was prepared and the refs arrived on time. It was game day. The teams were ready, and they did not disappoint. The Holliston Panthers football team was being led by new head coach Michael Mullen and his dedicated staff of coaches. To start the game, the Panthers elected to receive the ball, and they made the most of it by getting the ball to their 40-yard line. On the first possession, Charlie Scott connected with Nick Hastings on the left side. He ran 60 yards for the touchdown. And North was not going to lie down. Instead, they fought back with a pass in the flats that scored and brought them to within 7. The freshman Panthers continued to move the ball. Another pass for a touchdown by Newton North would tie the game early in the third quarter. 14-14 was the score to start for the fourth quarter. It was a defensive struggle with both teams making impactful stops. Back and forth, it went both teams fighting for the chance to come out on top. Sam and Ryan and Warren Greer made significant contributions to the defensive side of the ball, but the highlight came at the end of the game. The game was tight and heading to the wire with Newton North, looking like they were going to drive down the field to victory. It didn't happen that way. A costly penalty to Newton North stalled their drive. Coach Mullen then took a timeout to focus the team. Newton North, with the clock running down and in the red zone, looking for the win, they elected to throw a pass at that number 28, Vishal Ramathon, intercepted in a tip drill fashion to save the game and hold the tie. It was a great day of football. The Panthers didn't win the game, but showed grit and toughness all throughout the game. Nice job, Coach Mullen and the Holliston Panthers football team. Good luck this season.
That was a great game. The Panthers look like they are on the prowl, and Coach Mullen looks like he has it off to a great start. Good luck, Coach. Our last segment is a tribute to the flowers of summer with a poem about the mighty, mighty sunflower. The mighty sunflower, the mighty, mighty sunflower, offering a promise to radiate health, strength, and calm. The strong sunflower stands against the wind and rain of summer's relentless storms. It is the canopy of the garden, providing and protecting. It gives the birds their feeding. Different birds will come until the seeds are done, and the bees will forage for the pollen that sits within the flower. They will fly back to where the worker bee will make the honey. And when the season is complete, take some seeds for planting, so the cycle starts anew. And yes, keep some seeds for snacking. You will love them too. Oh, the mighty, mighty sunflower. Nature is lucky to have a plant like you.
That wraps up our show. Thank you to our guests and reporters and you, the viewers. It was a great show. Remember, building bridges allows us all to get to the other side.